Hi, people. Hope we're getting ready to welcome our very own Doc in the house. So let's just give it some time. Let each and everyone just begin to say hi to whoever is in here. It's my health, my wealth. It's your favorite health arena, and I'm excited to be the one to bring it to you today. And I'm also totally excited that Doc made it possible for this to happen. And of course, just like we said, what is going to be happening on Health Arena is we're going to be bringing you medical tips, things you need to do to get yourself healthy, to get yourself better, and so that you're going to make informed health decisions and you're going to save yourself and save the world as well. So that's basically what it is. So I'm hoping that you all are going to have a great time today. Our guest is already here, and prepared. So I'm hoping that you all are ready to welcome him. I'm seeing some people say, "Oh, thank God I made it. I made it. I made it. I made it." Yeah, I'm excited you all are here. So we are people of time. We're very time conscious. So we're going to make sure that we get this done in the shortest time possible. Let's welcome our guests in. Let's get our guests to come in. Hi, Doc.
Hello, Princess. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Well, I'm doing
I can see
amazing.
that. So I love nature, so you're actually doing it right for me.
Oh, yeah, this is
Welcome
where we
on.
belong.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday, and well, we're the end of my Sunday, but I think it's morning for you. So good morning to you, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good whatever time to everybody who is joining the live stream right now. We're really grateful to have you. So I was just giving the people some more like an intro to what Health Arena is all about. And of course, we're grateful and we're excited that you're the face of Health Arena. That is so beautiful.
In fact,
Thank you for doing this. Yeah, go
thank you
ahead.
so much. And I'm very humbled. And I think it gives us an opportunity to connect with our people, talk on issues,
Uh,
whatever they consider important. And I often
yeah.
say, as physicians, what we know is not really for us, and what we know will not make a difference unless it gets to the greater public. So hopefully, this platform is going to help people maybe get answers to questions, worries, and ultimately improve their health.
Oh, definitely. And some of us will get shy to go to the hospital and ask some kinds of questions because people will be giving us those looks. We can actually stay behind these names and ask those questions.
That's true.
Okay. So today is kind of going to be a relaxed one. Yeah, we just want to get to know who Dr. Dita is. On the video we posted where we were telling people about what was going to be happening, a lot of people were excited. I had some friends who were like, "Oh my God, this is a really, really great person. I'd not met him for a very, very long time since we first met. And now I'm going to meet him here." And they were so excited. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is good." So I'm telling them some people want to know who Dr. Dita is. So just tell us a little bit about
Um, I don't know what to say and what not to say, but my full name's Chobufo Ditah, and Ditah is the last name. Uh,
you. Okay.
come from a big family, somewhere in the middle with amazing elders and junior ones. I was born and raised in Bamenda, and
Okay.
that's where I did all of my education, primary through secondary. Started at somewhere in Mancon, CS Tamafen, then CS Alamatu. Then transitioned to government high school, then government high school Mancon. Graduated with my O levels, moved to GBHS Bamenda, where I spent 2 years, had some wonderful mates who have been friends for life. And then
Yeah.
Luckily, I made it into QS, which was the then Lone Medical School in Cameroon. Spent 7 years in Yaoundé, graduated as a physician. Initially worked with government for 3 years, then moved on to work with Doctors Without Borders for like 5 years. And during that time, I had the opportunity to go and do a master's in public health. Long term, I thought I wouldn't be able to travel around Africa like I used to do with Doctors Without Borders. So I pursued the option of specializing in the US. So I just graduated as an internist in the US, but I look forward to pursuing further subspecialty. If I'm not talking to you guys, so probably I should be watching soccer on Sundays and the weekends. I'm actually a soccer fan, but I think I also
Oh,
love sport indiscriminately. And connecting with people is something I love. So thanks for, making me accomplish one of my hobbies by being on your show.
yeah, and I'm very excited because when I spoke about it, I've actually spoken about this to people in diverse fields, not basically the medical. I've spoken to people in finance, I've spoken to people in inspiration, and they were kind of excited at the idea, but nobody was really as pushful as you were. So I should be thanking you, or we all on Real Inspiration to be thanking you for your push and your enthusiasm. And it wasn't just like you were excited about the idea, you actually made it happen. I'm really grateful for that. You mentioned GPHS Bamenda. I'm excited because I love that school, but
Oh,
I was there just for 2 years. So
happy to
you're
have
an
shared the
alumni.
same alumni with you.
Toppers. Yeah. Yeah, there are really great people there, and that's also basically where I learned how to do things myself, to fend for myself. Because I originally left from a single sex boarding school, so you can imagine. I just felt like I came out from my girl world, and then I got into this place that was like a pool of all kinds of people, the good, the bad, the ugly. No, 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 no. I'm just kidding. Like
I get it.
a school where you have every single person, like people who have gone through thick and thin, people who have had it all, people who have had nothing. Like it was just a mix of every single person. GVHS is one awesome school. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how to get the people to come there, but it was beautiful.
I
So
totally agree
I
with you. And
yeah,
GBHS, Bamenda, I think it's been one of the greatest schools I ever had the opportunity to go to. I didn't go
me too.
to many, but the guys I met there and what they've gone on to become or how we competed in class, encouraging each others and pushing the standards and limits every time. Uh, UPHS Bamenda is
Yeah,
just a wonderful school, and I'm happy I was able to go there. It made me to
me
dream above
too.
and beyond.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask, like, you became a doctor. Is it like what you had? Because I wanted to become a doctor, like a medical doctor, you know, when I was way younger. But at some point, I realized that it was just I just wanted to be like my dad. Not basically like that's what I was passionate about. I just wanted to be like my dad. So I started giving up on it. But when I grew a little bit older, I heard that you can also become a doctor in any field. It doesn't necessarily have to be a medical doctor. So I said I was still going to pursue that, but now I didn't. So when you were younger, did you desire to be a medical practitioner, medical professional? Like, was that part of your dreams when you were like young? Like, we have all these big dreams. I want to be a pilot. I want to be.
So, I've thought of doing so many things in life before I settled on being a physician or a medical doctor. And, initially I wanted to be a teacher. My dad was a teacher, and I always wanted to be a teacher because I felt they were wonderful people. They did
Yeah,
things,
we all want to be like our parents.
they had total control of the class. They could decide who kneels down, who sits up. You don't make it right. They could, So for some reason, I really wanted to be a teacher. Then I also wanted to be a policeman because these guys were all powerful in the community.
Oh
But
yeah,
anyway, quickly as I grew up, I realized that wasn't where I truly belong. And thanks to my older brother, I think when I was still in secondary school, my older brother made it to QS, So I was open to this world, right? Where you have physicians and what they do. He would tell me more about what he does at school and the impact of all what they do. They also used to organize health campaign, come back home. Then I said, oh, I think I truly need to be here. But then being a
Wow.
physician in Cameroon, most important, most especially for Anglophones, was not something easy to come by. You had to go write an exam with some questions poorly translated in French, compete with people all over the world, or all over the country for very few spots. But then I really
Oh yeah.
wanted to be one. So I remember going to Yaoundé, attending classes, sitting for the concours, and ultimately becoming a physician. But I think, going to medicine and being a doctor are very different things. At times, what takes you into medicine is not really what you need to succeed or to move forward as a physician. Because as a medical doctor, it's really about how you connect with people, how you are able to help them stay healthy, how you are able to be there to help them gain back their health when they get sick. And it demands some values. How compassionate are you? Can you really stand and advocate for them? Can you treat them as decent human beings, irrespective of how weak they are when they get sick? So, but I wouldn't say being a doctor has not been a wonderful thing. It's been a wonderful thing. And I think if you're in there for the right reasons, you always enjoy it. And that's why I'm enjoying it.
Oh yeah. I know you're enjoying it because when you're talking about it, when we're talking anything medical, you're like really, really passionate. I, so I know what I love doing, and it's talking. This is what I love doing. So when I'm talking to you about this, I know the passion with which I talk about it, and that's just as much passion you use to talk about medical stuff. And we're in one other amazing group as well, so we always get to talk about those things there. And I know how passionate you are when you're talking about health stuff. Okay, so I wanted to ask another question. So I heard, I don't know. I've never really found out. I've never really gone to check that to become a medical practitioner, you have to take like some many years. Is that really it? Like we used to go to the university and do like 3 years. If you're doing a double measure, maybe you do like 4 years or something like that. But it looks like it's way more for medical personnel or something like that. Is that true? Maybe you're going to help us with that. Let's be sure.
Well, it is true, and I think maybe like it takes averagely 21 years of education from the
Ooh,
day you go to class one to the day you
okay.
become a physician. 7 years. Back then it was 7 years in primary school, 7 years in secondary school, and seven
Yeah.
year in the medical school. So together it was about 21 years. And I think it is roughly 21 years for every in almost every country. So, but
Okay.
I don't think it is extraordinarily long if you really want to be at the top of your game. For most
Yeah.
doctors, whether you're a doctor in history, geography, anthropology, sociology, it would also require about 21 years to get there. So, yes,
Okay.
if you want to be a medical doctor, you need to go in for 21 years. You need to do the hard work and you need to be patient, focus, and be there for a while. Likewise, if you really want to be at the top of your game in any field. And I think 21 years is the basic minimum to begin with. That just qualifies
Okay.
you as someone in the medical corps. But if you want to go on and maybe specialize, you might have to put in another 10 years to become who you want to. And I think I know it's very long, but I also think it's justified because we don't have second chances with life. I've never seen a
Oh
doctor
yeah.
who is able yeah, I've never seen a doctor who is able to say, "Oh, I made a mistake. The patient died. I'm going to correct it,
Oh my
and
God.
the patient is going to be alive again." So, because of what we do is very delicate, and often we don't have second chances for very little mistakes. You need to be on top of it. So,
Yeah.
21 years to me is okay, and I think maybe even more. You want to be at the top of your game.
Yeah. When you want to be the best at whatever you're doing, you have to just keep going. Say you never stop learning, right? You just keep going and going and going. And okay, so that's fair enough. If you love what you do and you really want to be the best at it, you would have to keep studying. And of course, if you're passionate about it, you would go further. You would take all the time that it takes to be at the thing, because when I actually graduated from the university, I basically did not do what I wanted to do in the university. You know how um in, in Cameroon it's always about, well, let's just apply for three things. Whichever they take us for, we're gonna just go ahead and. And then I really, really wanted to do marketing, but they didn't have marketing itself as a course, which I don't know why. I insisted on going to the university. Well, I wanted to belong at that time. Well, when we kind of go to school and we're young, we kind of feel like we have a whole lot of time ahead of us. And so we're making all the stupid mistakes and making all the stupid choices we're making just because we want to belong. Yeah. Everybody's saying I went to the university, especially University of Boya, and you're like, I went to one professional school behind there. Like, it feels like out of place.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things that we fail to do that we hope that a lot of people on here can get to correct. Some of these things that we're saying, like you saying your story right now and saying who you are, a lot of people can get to learn that yes, it takes time, it takes diligence and all that for you to get it. And so you can't just wake up one beautiful morning and become. You have to work towards it. But we know that time is not on our side, so we have to take it seriously. You have to really be sure this is what you want, and when it's what you want, you go for it regardless of what is going on. So I just went to the university like that. And when I got out of the university, I started working where I wanted, not in the places where I was supposed to get, like, say, for example, what I did in school, in the university was business management. So everybody was expecting me to be like some bank manager, some accountant, or something like that. And I was just passionate about media. It wasn't just me. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Gela, Doris, the George family, and who else is here? Princessa, Moreno, and He Love TV. Thank you all for coming. We're really grateful. The doctor is here. I'm sure we would have a little bit of time to ask him a few questions if we want to. But today we're just getting to know him better. So I actually left school and I started working only in media companies because that's what I was actually truly passionate about. So it was fun, and I noticed that I really loved it. So I needed to go to school again, which wasn't funny. It feels exhausting and not very easy when you go to school and then you work, because they keep saying things around you like the essence of going to school is to work and earn. But that's not how it was in my head. I don't know why I wasn't seeing it like that. I was seeing it like to be best at whatever you're doing and give your best. It's not about the money. Because when you're giving your best, basically the money is going to come. That's what I think. So in my head, it was different. So when they kept pressuring, like, no, 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 it's about the money. So it didn't feel reasonable for me to want to go to school after working for like 5 years. Like it kind of made no sense to a lot of people. But I did, and I'm glad I did because it helped me in a lot of ways to be better at doing the media thing. I kind of do some things on social media that people are like, what? Where did you learn this? Yeah, it's kind of what I went to school with and putting it to practice that is helping me and making it better than a normal person who didn't go through that process. So yeah, so I believe that we need to put in our hearts to whatever we're doing. So you said there were some challenges you had, like you saw something like you were not going to be able to go to the countries where you wanted to go to. What happened with that? Why was it like that?
Well, you know, for those who know me, they know I come from very humble beginnings, and probably today, uh, I'm really no longer in the class I used to be, and going to school was not always fun. It wasn't like you always had everything figured out. And
I
maybe
know.
people don't realize that the first time I reached upstation Bamenda, if you're from Bamenda, was actually when I was going to Yaoundé for QS preparatory classes. Just to tell
Okay.
you why I was in Bamenda, I was just in Bamenda. I never had a reason to go up there. Not just that, we didn't have everything like money and everything to just go up there and have fun or just stand and see what the town looks like. So while you had your
Okay.
dreams, it takes resources to accomplish them. And back then, it's no hidden story that getting into professional schools,
Oh
you
yeah.
need to pay some huge money. And for my dad being a primary school teacher, and my mom basically doing some farming, we never had that money. But anyways, I think I it didn't that didn't discourage me. I kept working as hard as I could. I did everything I could, and somehow I'm not saying I got into Qs because I might have been one of the brightest people, but it takes some favor to get into that school because a school that
Yeah.
could only train 75 people a year in a country where thousands of people had excellent A level results or those coming from the university. So even if everybody had 100%, they still had to come down to 75. I think I was fortunate to be among those people. And I know so many people who could have been wonderful doctors and maybe even better doctors that didn't make it into Qs. But what is most comforting now is the fact that in order to help people live a better health or be healthy, you really don't need to be a medical doctor. Maybe the
Oh yeah.
journalists, if they use their platform to advise people that are listening and they are not necessarily, they are going to improve their health. Even the anthropologists could inform us that these are the practices in this society or in
You
this
know.
community, which might explain why they're having the diseases they do, and we would be able to intervene. So, we often feel like if you want to make an impact on health, you need to be in the medical field, but that is not always the case. There are just everything we do from what you eat, how you eat, how much you can eat, how much food you have, where the food comes from. All of that contribute to make you who you are and eventually what your heart is gonna be. So we are all very, very involved. Doctors often might be seen as the flagship bearers or the flag bearers who champion this, but doctors work in a very, very big team, diverse team,
Oh, yeah.
which cuts across every sector you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I love the part of how you turned it out because sometimes we're going to come to talk about some people feeling like, oh, because you're the doctor, so you're the one who has everything, and then, oh, because I'm not the doctor, so I'm not under, like, should I say, I'm not in the spotlight, because a lot of people grow up to always only want to be in the spotlight. So when they're not the spotlight person, they don't feel like they're doing anything. But just like the way you explained it, like giving the opportunity of me using my platform and you coming there to inform people that might not be able to easily access you is also a good thing. So I shouldn't look like, okay, my own job is not really that important. My own thing that I'm doing is not really that important. Every little thing that you're doing that is a plus to the society, to me, basically, I consider it as something. It doesn't matter how small,
Well,
you know.
I know we're talking hard, but truly there is nothing small. Because, the other day
Yeah.
I was at the clinic and I stopped by to say hi to the cleaner and thank her for her services. Then it was a bit strange to people. And then, but as I remember, we are a team, and if I, as a
Yeah.
doctor, I can't use the restroom because it's dirty, none of my patient is going to get any good health. So why they are not those who directly come in contact with the patient, or maybe to listen to their concern and help them? They are very important. And even in the society, I don't care what you do. You are as important as any other person. We just accomplish different roles, but at the end of the day, we make the society what it is. And if you want to think you are more important, I don't care what I do in the hospitals. If the guys who work with waste management companies say Zakam fail to take out the trash and dispose of and treat properly, I don't care what I do in the hospital, nothing gonna change. And
Oh yeah.
why they do that? Somebody thinks, oh, they are not as important as doctors. They might even be more important than doctors, right? Because they prevent you from even needing the services of some of these people who sit in offices. So
Oh yeah.
everybody, I don't care what you do. Everybody in the society is very, very important. And whatever you do is something I appreciate deeply. And I have great admiration and respect for you. and take pride in whatever you do, because ultimately it fits perfectly into the equation of making this world a healthier place, a safer place, and a happier place for for us all.
This is the part of the live show where I start blushing. Thank you so much, Doc. And we said we're not going to keep you here so much because you're doing this for us, and we're really, really grateful. Like we said, if you're just coming in, this is Health Arena. My health, my wealth. Of course, they say health is wealth, and we believe in that because you need to be healthy to be able to work the money, right? So, yeah. And Doc here is actually rendering his services for free. Free. We're not giving him nothing. So you guys should not get it all twisted and think like this media person princess here is paying Doc some large sum of money. That's why Doc is coming here and giving us all this. No, no, no. No way. This is all free. And I'm really, really grateful because just the first time I spoke with him when we're talking about bringing this up, he actually debunked a health myth that I had in my mind. So it's not just me. There are lots of people out there who believe those things because I read it from somewhere. And he said it's not what they think, it's not what they believe. So when he comes here each time, he's going to be telling us some of those things. We would also love you guys out there to give us the topics or the subjects that you have difficulty with when it comes to health so he can bring you maybe the explanations or he can give you tips on how to go about it. I know a lot of ladies who have a lot of things or questions or things they want to help address when it comes to health issue. I know a lot of ladies who have some had already mentioned some in the last post, I think. So we're going to be looking out for all those things. We'll be coming up with skits like 10 to 15 minutes. And when the skits come up, you can ask questions under them. And then he's eventually going to come live and answer all those questions. So when you ask a question, look out for the next time that we're going to have a live session. Always put on your notification bell and all that and get it on with us on Health Arena, always on Real Inspiration. So we said we're not going to take much of Doc's time today. Let's see. What would you say to someone who wants to get into the medical field um, and they're not so, they're not so, or let's just say, what kind of encouragement would you give to someone who wants to get into the medical field or who is just about starting or who is thinking of getting into the medical field? What would you say to them?
Well, you have to have a conviction that this is what I want to do, this is who I want to be. And to me, the secret of life is always hard work and focus. And I tell people if life were to be a gamble, I wouldn't succeed. If anything were to happen by chance, that wouldn't happen
Yeah,
to me. And chance really works for people who never think about it. So hard work is all I would tell anyone who is
yeah,
interested, whether in a hard field or any other fields. Please make sure you're working hard. Make sure you're on top of your game and be focused. There's no magic to it, and hard work has always worked for me, and I have no
yeah.
doubt it will also work for anyone else as long as they stay true to their dreams and they fight hard for their future.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doc. And they always say that success is opportunity that means preparedness. So preparedness is hard work, determination. So if you're not working when the opportunity shows up, you're not going to be able to get it or even see it, talk less of getting it and then getting it right. So we all need to get ourselves prepared. And of course, you've heard from Doc himself today. He has come up here and he has told you who he is. From what he has said already, you know that we're just not bringing you any kind of person. We're bringing people that know what they're up against and they know what they're doing. They know what they're into. And so they're going to be giving us all these amazing health tips. This is what real inspiration thinks about. Like, we don't just want to get only inspired and then we forget about our health. Health is wealth. I wish that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So while you're learning every other thing on real inspiration, we thought it wise that you should also learn about your health so that we can live together and make the world a better place. So we're hoping that the next topic that is going to come out on health arena will have something to do with is it blood type or blood group? Doc, please help me out. I don't know all the medical terms.
Well, at the end of the day, what we discuss here would be driven by what our audience thinks. Because
Okay,
the
yeah,
thing is
basically
important,
that.
we're going to talk about it. And when I come here, I want to talk hard in such a way that even a dog listening should understand. And what I really want to make
Yeah,
sure I don't do is I don't talk as if I were in the hospital or talking to a colleague. But what I can assure you is we will try to address issues you consider important. Because it doesn't matter
okay.
what I sit here and say. If people don't identify with and think it's of added value to them, it's not worth it. So please,
Oh yeah.
drop your suggestions and I will address them. And if I'm unable to, because medicine is so broad, I will get a colleague
Yeah.
who does that.
Okay, thank you so much. You're hearing Doc is already telling us that we should be rest assured that he's going to get some of his colleagues and bring them on here. We can have a chat together. And like he said, all the things he has ever explained to me medically, they have been as simple as even if I was just in primary school, I'll be able to understand what he's talking about. Meanwhile, when I went to the hospital and I was looking at my results, I was like confused, as confused. But he explained it to me so simple that I really, really got to understand what he was saying. So that's exactly what he's saying he's going to do here. So don't be scared to be hearing some really, really big medical terms that you'll be thinking like, what is this guy saying? Is he speaking tongues? Is he speaking his local language? His vernacular or something. So of course, and like he said, we're gonna be bringing many more of his colleagues in different fields. Like he said, the medical field is very broad. He's going to be bringing many more people. So please, please, people, keep your questions coming. Ask all the questions you want to ask, and then we're going to do the videos. And he's still going to come back live to explain better to any part that he explained that you didn't understand. He will explain it better. If you don't get it still right, he's going to bring someone who's going to make it much, much better. Thank you so much, Doc, for doing this with us. We're really, really grateful, and we're definitely not going to take it for granted.
Thank you so
Hi,
much for
Kaylin.
Thank you so much and look forward to the next outing edition.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who was here today. I'm really grateful to you, the Judge family, Gela, Doris, Kaylan Wares, Mariano, Pasque, and who else? Princessa, Target Peace, and who else was here? Oh, thank you so much. I'm an African print freak, so I always kind of do African things. Yeah, and Kaylan Wares also is into African print and all that stuff. Thank you so much everyone who came here today. Please do go ahead and share this so people can get to know and know. Thank you, Samantha Francis. Thank you for coming. And share this out as well so that many more people are going to know what we're doing and what we're getting on with so they can also get to ask their questions even when they watch this later. That's the beauty about social media. It's always going to be there so you can come back and watch. Thank you all for being here. We want to say bye bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Mwah. Okay.